When it comes to housewarming gifts, you really can't go wrong. Well, you can go wrong, but it's just a nice extra gesture. So, whatever you get that person, they're going to appreciate. But for me, I sometimes like to get my friends something that they really will put in their house. I mean, yes, I could go get a nice bottle of wine or a cute little plant for them. But sometimes I want to find something more personal, especially for the friends that really appreciate interior design or fashion or whatever. I like to give them something fun that they actually will put in their house. So I thought today we would talk about some more interior focused housewarming gifts, some more like decor focused housewarming ideas that you can get your friends who might appreciate your taste. And yes, I'm very professional today in my suit. I'm actually just wearing a t-shirt, and then I threw a blazer over it because I don't have many clothes to choose from at the moment. I am living out of some suitcases. So let's professionally talk about today's video of housewarming gifts I would personally like to receive. What first comes to my mind when I'm picking out a gift for a housewarming party or whatever is not really like, do they need this? It's stuff that people might not buy for themselves, but would be really excited to have it as a gift. And let me throw this out there real quick. I will not be recommending anything that has a monogram on it. So, Mom, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I mean, she knows already that I don't really love the monogram stuff, but she does. So sorry, Mom, no monogrammed coasters or cutting boards are going to be suggested in this video. Also, by the way, if you're interested in purchasing any of these housewarming gifts or just gifts in general, I have them all linked down below in the description. When I think of an area in my own house that might need some extra help, I immediately think bookshelves. So the person you are gifting most likely has bookshelves or a shelf in general. So what goes on those shelves? My first suggestion would be candlesticks. Just some nice, beautiful candlesticks. You could gift a few different colorful taper candles along with some unique candlesticks themselves from Etsy. I really tend to go more towards the vintage side when finding items for a bookshelf, just because I find that to be more unique. So yeah, candlesticks, easy, so easy. Also, how about some fun bookends from Etsy? Because most people don't think to get bookends. I feel like if you have bookends, maybe they were passed down from your grandparents, or maybe you stumbled upon them at a store. So getting a nice bookend, maybe a really nice brass bookend. Again, vintage or Etsy. I feel like I'm going to say to shop vintage a lot in this video, so don't get mad at me, because in the last video, people were like, stop telling everyone to get vintage items. I'm like, well, that's what I like. So yeah, I would suggest vintage bookends. You can't really go wrong, unless, I guess, if they don't read. So one of my all-time favorite gifts to receive is a coffee table book. It's so generic. It's honestly not that unique of a suggestion, but finding a really cool photography or design coffee table book, you can't go wrong. You always need more coffee table books. You always need more books in general. You really cannot go wrong with gifting a really unique coffee table book. That's my personal favorite gift to receive ever. On top of a cool coffee table book, you could get a magazine subscription. I talk about this in my cool gifts for cool people video. Maybe gifting an Apartamento magazine subscription, or the World of Interiors. That's such a cool magazine. Figure out, what do they like? I asked my siblings the other day, off the top of your head, you have to pick out a gift for me right now. What would you get me? And I'm not kidding you. Both of them said a bowl. Just a bowl. And I don't disagree. I would love any bowl that is ever gifted to me, whether it's a really cool ceramic handmade pottery bowl, maybe it's just a general wooden bowl from CB2, or any type of bowl. I have one of these bowls for washing fruit. I think that's a pretty unique gift. something that people wouldn't buy for themselves but would love to have. I feel so professional. It's like I'm a business lady, but then it's like I'm just rolled out of bed. Anyways, now we will continue my professional talk about housewarming gifts. Fun glassware. Fun glassware. This is like the main thing that my friends and I like to gift each other. Maybe it's not glassware you use every day, but if you have a little party or a few people over, you can whip out that really unique cocktail glass or wine glass. You don't really need to gift a ton. Maybe you just do a set of 4. And I love to receive glassware. All of these gifts I'm so passionate about. So if you're ever looking to get me a gift, if you want to get me a housewarming gift, whenever I get a house. Also, one last note to add about the glassware, the crazier and the more unique, the better. Because why not? Who doesn't like a really, really interesting little cup? You know? I actually have a tattoo of a cup on my ankle, and so does my best friend Kate. We both have little cups because we're both prop stylists, and we use cups a lot as props. Do you smoke pot? Some people do, some people don't. A lot of the people I'm friends with do smoke pot. Do I smoke pot? Am I allowed to say this on YouTube? I don't know if I smoke pot. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. We don't know. But I would like a vintage ashtray as a gift. I think it's fun to have a vintage ashtray sitting out on a coffee table. Not all the time, but like when you have friends over, even if you don't smoke, it's kind of nice to have an ashtray for people who do. My friend Kate got me this Sue's ashtray for my birthday one year. My friend Alex got me a fun little ashtray as well. At this point, I've started a vintage ashtray collection, and I don't even know how to smoke a cigarette. It's not embarrassing. I like that I don't know how, but I don't know how to smoke a cigarette. What about linens? What about dish towels? What about really interesting linens that they're probably never going to use, to be honest? I had a drawer of linens that my friends have just gifted me over the years, and I guess when I had people over, I would give them a linen instead of a napkin. Kind of fun, kind of adult. So that's a fun gift to receive because I don't think people would buy linens for themselves. Maybe I'm just at the age where it's time. Once you turn 30, I think you need to start having linens, right? Same with dish towels. I had a dish towel or 2 that hung on my oven. And I always wanted them to be like a unique and fun pattern. And those things get used quickly, They get dirty quickly. You have to wash them. You have to rotate them in and out a lot. So dish towels also, I would love to receive that. Dish towels and linens, sure. I'm someone that would appreciate a dish towel as a gift. But let me know if that's not a good idea to gift to someone. We're back to the vintage. I personally love buying people art. Not a giant piece of art, just a fun little mid-size piece of vintage art. My friend Kate, my BFF Kate, got me this little tomato art piece. I love tomatoes. She knows I love tomatoes, so she went and got this like little oil painting. I don't think it was vintage. I think it was hand painted, but a small little piece of art is really fun. There's a ton of tiny little vintage pieces of art, like even like this small, this small is so fun, hang it above a little light switch in your house or put it on a shelf. I mean, if you feel like you have good taste in picking that out, that could be like a little risky if you don't know the person that well. Like, are they gonna like this? But every time I've done it, I feel like people like it. I've given my sister a few vintage pieces of art. So, Teague, if you're watching, do you actually like the art I gave you? Let me know. If you want to get wild, you're looking to get a little crazy, I would buy a little lamp. Just a little lamp. A little guy. maybe a fun little clip-on lamp or just a teeny little lamp for the kitchen or anywhere. I would like to receive that as a gift, but I like little lamps. And I think other people would like it too. I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, would my friends like this gift? But yes, they would like every gift that I have listed so far. Yeah, a small little lamp from Etsy. Maybe some cocktail napkins. Again, this is something you could search on eBay or Etsy, like vintage cocktail napkins, even just paper ones. I feel like you can find ones from the 90s that are just kind of a weird print, a weird vintagey print. Again, like you can kind of go a little crazy with this because you use them and then they're done. Also, your friend could just throw them away if they don't like them, and they could be like, yeah, I used them all at the last party. Also, those little, I don't know what these are called, but they're like these little match holders where they hold a bunch of matches and then you light it on the side. I think those are really cool. That's a fun gift to receive. Everyone would want one of those to sit on their coffee table, and everyone needs a match for a candle or whatever they need a match for. And it's unique and it's just different, you know? It's just different than that little Home Depot plant that is what you usually get at a housewarming. Another item that I feel like not that many people have but would appreciate as a gift is a oil and vinegar like decanter set. Most people wouldn't buy that because they would just buy oil and vinegar and, you know, keep it in their pantry or whatever. But if I had a cute little oil and vinegar set, I would appreciate that. I wouldn't buy it for myself, I guess, unless I really wanted one for some reason. But yeah, oil and vinegar sets. Also, I just called them decanters, and I don't know if they're decanters, really. They're just oil and vinegar holders things. Listen, when it comes to housewarming gifts, I think find an item that the person or the homeowners maybe wouldn't buy for themselves. Something a little bit more fun, you know? It doesn't always have to be something practical. They did that on their wedding registry. Now it's time for fun things. Some people might say, no, I don't want a little lamp as a housewarming gift, but everything I listed is stuff I would want. So thanks again for watching another video here in my office. This is going to be one of my last times filming in here because I have one more week in Chicago and then my renter moves in. But I just wanted to film here as much as I could before I leave. Yeah, go subscribe and go follow me on Instagram because that's where I post a lot of my like questions, and I also post things to buy and other random things. Or if you just want to follow along with my life travels, go give me a follow at Wasslepaw. And the reason my username is Wasslepaw is because that is the email address that Michigan State gave me when I went there. Wasslepaw@msu.edu. Go Spartans. Bye.